Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, Meta versus OpenAI.
All right, so we're back to talk about corporate warfare, but this time it's not about who gets to sell you overpriced coffee or which streaming service gets to hold your favorite show hostage. This is Meta versus OpenAI, and it's basically like watching AOL try to take on the entire internet all again, except this time the stakes are whether artificial intelligence becomes a public utility or Mark Zuckerberg's personal playground. No surprise here either way. It's still billionaires calling the shots.
The Meta versus OpenAI rivalry represents the most significant competition in AI development since the field began. But to understand where we are now, we need to look at how we got here. OpenAI started as a nonprofit in 2015, promising to develop artificial general intelligence for the benefit of humanity. Then Microsoft invested billions, OpenAI became for profit, and suddenly, benefit of humanity started looking a lot like benefit of Microsoft's stock price.
Right, because nothing says, we're here to help humanity, like taking a $10 billion check from the company that once gave us Clippy. Okay, I actually liked Clippy, but then they gave us Windows Vista. It's like the Rolling Stones agreeing to write a jingle for McDonald's, which I'm pretty sure they would never do, and then acting surprised when they're asked to rhyme something with McNugget. The idealism was nice while it lasted, but money talks and BS walks.
Meanwhile, Meta was playing catch-up. They had been focused on the metaverse. Remember that? Zuckerberg's virtual reality fever dream that was supposed to replace actual reality? But when ChatGPT exploded in late 2022, Meta suddenly realized they were about to miss the biggest tech shift since the internet itself. So they pivoted harder than a dot-com startup in 2001.
Oh, the metaverse. That beautiful disaster that burned through more money than a cocaine-fueled Wall Street party in the 80s. Zuckerberg spent years trying to convince us we all wanted to live in a cartoon world where our avatars could attend virtual meetings. Meanwhile, OpenAI was quietly building something that could actually write those meeting notes for us. It's like Meta was building a really expensive Second Life while OpenAI was building HAL 9000.
The technical competition is fascinating. OpenAI has GPT-4 and the upcoming GPT-5, which represent the current state-of-the-art in large language models. Meta responded with Llama 2 and now Llama 3, which they're releasing as open-source models. The fundamental difference is philosophical. OpenAI wants to control access to AI through APIs and subscriptions. Meta wants to give it away for free and dominate through scale and ecosystem lock-in.
So it's the classic Microsoft versus Netscape playbook all over again. Except instead of browsers, it's AI models. And instead of embrace, extend, extinguish, it's open source, scale up, lock in. Meta's basically saying, hey, we'll give you the AI for free. Just ignore the fact that we're harvesting every interaction to feed our advertising machine. It's like getting a free lunch from someone who's secretly filming you eat to sell the footage to your ex.
The open source strategy is particularly clever. By releasing Llama models for free, Meta is commoditizing the foundation model layer. If everyone can access powerful AI models without paying OpenAI's API fees, then OpenAI's business model becomes much less sustainable. It's the same strategy Google used with Android to undercut Apple's iOS dominance.
Right, because nothing says we're the good guys like giving away something for free so you can destroy your competitor's revenue stream. It's like Walmart moving into a small town and selling everything at a loss until the local businesses die. Except instead of killing mom and pop stores, Meta's trying to kill the company that might actually build artificial general intelligence. The irony is thicker than a Starbucks Frappuccino.
But there's a deeper strategic element here. Meta isn't just competing with OpenAI. They're competing with the entire cloud computing ecosystem. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they all have AI offerings now. Meta's bet is that by controlling the foundational AI models, they can avoid paying the AI tax to cloud providers and maintain their independence.
Ah, yes. The old, if you can't beat them, undercut them until they bleed out strategy. It's like when AOL was giving away free internet CDs to kill dial-up competitors, except instead of flooding mailboxes with coasters, Meta's flooding GitHub with AI models. And just like those AOL CDs, There's definitely a catch hidden in the fine print.
The catch is data and compute requirements. While Meta's models are open source, training competitive AI still requires massive data sets and computational resources. Meta has both. They have billions of users generating training data every day, and they've invested tens of billions in AI infrastructure. So open source really means open source if you happen to have Facebook-scale resources.
So it's open source the same way a Ferrari is affordable transportation. Sure, technically anyone can buy one if they happen to have $250,000 lying around. Meta's basically saying, here's the recipe for AI. You just need to own a few nuclear power plants to actually cook it. It's like Martha Stewart giving away her cookie recipe, but forgetting to mention you need a commercial bakery to make them.
And that brings us to the current state of the competition. OpenAI just announced GPT-4o, which can process text, images, and audio simultaneously. Meta responded by announcing they're training Llama 3 on a cluster of 100,000 H100 GPUs. For context, that's more computing power than most countries have for their entire military.
100,000 H100 GPUs. That's like, I don't even have an analogy for that level of computational overkill. It's like bringing a Death Star to a knife fight, or like Metallica hiring the London Symphony Orchestra to play Enter Sandman at a garage party. The sheer excess is almost beautiful in its absurdity.
The arms race is accelerating because both companies know that AI dominance is winner take all. Whoever builds the best AI models gets to set the terms for how artificial intelligence integrates into society. That's not just about technology. It's about power, influence, and control over the future of human-computer interaction.
Winner take all. Just like the browser wars, the search engine wars, the social media wars. Except this time, instead of fighting over who gets to show you ads, they're fighting over who gets to build the thing that might replace human intelligence. It's like watching two kids fight over who gets to play God. Except the kids have billion-dollar budgets, and the playground is the entire internet.
The implications for users are significant. If OpenAI wins, we get powerful AI tools behind paywalls and API gates. If Meta wins, we get free AI tools that come with surveillance and advertising. Neither option is particularly appealing from a user autonomy perspective.
Right, because our choices are basically pay Microsoft for the privilege of being monitored or let Facebook monitor you for free. It's like choosing between getting mugged by a guy in a suit or getting mugged by a guy in a hoodie. Either way, you're getting mugged. You just get to pick the aesthetic. At least the suit guy is honest about charging you for the experience.
But there's a third possibility that both companies are worried about. What if neither of them wins? What if the real breakthrough comes from a startup we've never heard of? Or from an open source project that doesn't need billion-dollar infrastructure? The history of technology is full of incumbents who thought they were too big to fail.
Oh, you mean like how MySpace was going to dominate social media forever? Or how BlackBerry was going to own mobile forever? Or how Blockbuster was going to... Well, you get the idea. The beautiful thing about technology is that it has a way of making yesterday's giants look like today's cautionary tales. Maybe some kid in a garage is building AGI on a Raspberry Pi while Meta and OpenAI are busy measuring their GPU clusters.
The irony is that both companies are so focused on beating each other, they might miss the real innovation happening elsewhere. It's classic innovator's dilemma. The established players fight over the current market while someone else creates the next market. And in AI, the next market might be completely different from what anyone expects.
Exactly. While Meta and OpenAI are having their corporate turf war, some teenager is probably training a model on TikTok videos that accidentally achieves consciousness, or some university research team is building AI that actually understands context instead of just predicting the next word really, really well. The future has a way of sneaking up on you while you're busy fighting the last war.
Which brings us to what this means for regular users. In the short term, the competition is great. We get better tools, faster innovation, and more choices. But in the long term, we need to ask whether we want AI development controlled by a handful of tech giants. The decisions being made in Silicon Valley boardrooms today will shape how artificial intelligence affects society for decades.
And let's be honest, Silicon Valley's track record on shaping society isn't exactly inspiring. These are the same people who gave us social media addiction, surveillance capitalism, and the gig economy. Now they want to build artificial general intelligence. It's like letting the people who invented cigarettes design your lung transplant. The technical competence is there, but the judgment, well, that's debatable.
The key is maintaining competition and preventing any single company from achieving monopoly control over AI. Whether that's through regulation, open source alternatives, or just good old-fashioned market forces. The worst outcome would be a world where one company controls the technology that might replace human intelligence.
Right, because if there's one thing we've learned from the internet age, it's that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And giving one company control over artificial general intelligence would be like giving one person control over fire. Sure, they might use it to cook dinner and stay warm, or they might burn down the entire village because it's more efficient. The smart money says we should probably keep multiple people holding matches.
The metaverse's OpenAI rivalry is just the beginning. As AI becomes more powerful and more important, we'll see more players enter the field. The question is whether competition will drive innovation in directions that benefit humanity, or just in directions that benefit shareholders.
Well, based on the last 30 years of tech history, I'm going to go with shareholders for 1,000, Alex. But hey, maybe this time will be different. Maybe this time the people building world-changing technology will actually think about the world they're changing. Or maybe we'll just get really sophisticated AI that's really good at selling us stuff we don't need. Either way, it's going to be one hell of a ride.
The ride has already started. The question is whether we're passengers or drivers. And right now, it feels like we're mostly just along for the ride.
Passengers on the AI Express with Meta and OpenAI fighting over who gets to drive. Meanwhile, the rest of us are in the back seat trying to figure out where we're going and whether we remembered to pack a parachute. Thanks for tuning into My AI and I.
Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, in the battle between tech giants, the house always wins. The question is whether we're part of the house or just chips on the table. Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.